Hi guys, it's me, Joseph Machine again, and it's time. It's time for me to talk about this. The last little section of the Dragon Ball manga before it bleeds into the Dragon Ball Z section, which happens to be my first anime ever, so yay for that. Now, I should say that this book right here is about 1/3 of the rest of the Dragon Ball manga. The Poem, the little kids and teenagers. But, the rest of it is the Z portion of it. The beginning of Z portion. And I was actually at a crossroads as to whether I should cover all in one fell swoop, comparing the Z manga with the Z animation that no one loved so much, or if I should just do one separate video for just the Dragon Ball portion of it, and then do another one for the Z portion of the manga. But I think which type went out, because I'm gonna be doing this as one big thing. Now, this is kind of a good idea because I didn't think that when Master Toriyama made this, I didn't think that he would be able to fill 500 pages of this on just the Goku versus Piccolo Jr. fight. I mean, it would be awesome, but it would still be a very drawn out long movie of a fight. So nobody really wants to read that for 500 pages worth. Even though I'm sure that with the animation portion of it, they'll probably do something like that with all the dialogue and script and whatever have you. So they're used to it. Also, for the same matter, when you get to the Z portion of this manga, they'll be a lot different from the Z anime, because with the Z anime got more liberal additions, like the whole filler parts of the episodes, like Snake Way and all full of him going to hell for Goku, among many other little intricacies that are annoying. The manga is much more streamlined of it, and no, I can't control the amount of light on my camera on my laptop. That's highly annoying and really, annoying at best. So I'm at the mercy of my camera here, so I can't really do anything about it. I'm sorry for the last couple of videos in case that might already happen, few of them, but I can't control it. So this is books number 16, 17, and 18. Much like the androids, I'll come later on in the series, 16, 17, 18. Especially 18. Yeah, she's a good person. She's a nice person. She isn't bad, she's just drawn that way. But anyway, this covers chapters from manga chapter 181, God's Maze Calculation, to I don't know, because when Sunset Toriyama made this, I guess he was sick or something, so he just stopped as number, and with the title card released, and then and then they continue on with the storyline, maybe to reduce the amount of waiting we had to do for the action, but it's kind of noticeable. But of particular notice is the fact that they put in there. Let me just pull it up now. They have in there a title card for one of the chapters in this wonderful book that's in the juggle part of it, where they where they have where they had all the fighters, Goku, Piccolo Jr., and Krillin, etc. They're adult. They're in their teenage bodies, but they're in TV form. So it's very adorable. Well, why do I make mention of this at the time? Well, it turns out that I own seasons of the show of Z on the Xbox Live and Manga place there. So the point is that when the animation sells for the introduction to the introduction of it, they have one of the cells from one of the cells of it, they show in chibi form Goku, Piccolo Jr. and the others there, and the Captain and Marianne, and the Professor and Marianne, and they got that from this animation, from this chapter thing. I thought that was a nice little reference once you figure it out. Now let me just get to it right now. Oh yeah, by the way, every time I read the Z aspect of this, I always think of the voice actors from the Ocean dub, and I pick up the actors that I like from the Ocean dub and from the other dub, from the Funimation dub. It's quite groovy that way. But here's the actual cover art for that. If anyone knows what the animation I'm talking about in the title screen, this is it. And of course, I'll be showing you things like that in this book because of the humor and the funniness and the errors that I noticed. Excuse me. Because there are quite a few errors that I noticed with that. So we have a thing called God's Mixed Calculation, in which Kami, the ultimate overseer of Earth at the moment, we will reveal that he's like a divine something or other, but that he's the bottom of the bottom rung of divine entities. And then you have King Yama on top of that. Then you have King Khan on top of him, or maybe it's the other way around. And then you got on top of him, you have the Grand Supreme Kai, and you have Shin, and you have the Kaioshin above even him, and then on top of him you have Omni King, etc. So we developed by being called by having God make a miscalculation, instead of the word Kami, which he should be called Kami in this one, they mistakenly make reference to the big guy upstairs, big guy on top of the clock, God that says, "Hey, you get off my cloud." That the supreme God of all Christianity, of all creation, and all that stuff. According to how we believe it, we could be wrong here, But anyway, they make it very clear that Kami is the God, the highest of the high, the most powerful deity in the world so far that we know of in this jungle. He's the guy that creates the dragon, the eternal dragon, the bull, the everything that there is. Know about this. So anyway, the thing that he miscalculated is kind of a whoopsie, because they should say specific Kami miscalculated rather than the Supreme Overlord God miscalculated. Because, at this point, Kami's more like a loving angel, if you want to get compared to Christian mythology. Or I think that they have angels in Jewish mythology too, but you get it, lower power level, all that stuff. So it's funny that Kami is like one part of the coin, the good part, and King Piccolo was the bad side of the coin. And when they combine, they make the Mega character, which when King Piccolo died at the hands of Goku, when Goku fisted him, he ended up coughing up an egg, which is hatched into Piccolo Jr. So that's who Goku fights now. And pretty much there was a character in it, I forgot his name, but he was basically Kami masquerading as this guy so that no one in the audience would ever catch wind of it. The divine powers and all this sorts of drug and secret stuff. So then they end up fighting with each other. In the tournament they end up fighting each other, and then he tried to use the Mafia against King Piccolo, or Piccolo Jr. And trapped him in a little rice cooker for a few more centuries. That's how he escaped him the first time. But he reflected it back at him, so that the Mafia ended up seeing himself into the bottle, not a rice cooker bottle, a regular bottle, like you do with Zelda and the little fairies. So anyway, he then takes the bottle and swallows it. He deep throats it. And that's actually kind of funny because it was actually really smart for a villain like that to swallow the more powerful divine deity in the world at the time, because they're both the same build, so that if one dies, the other one dies too. So even if Goku were to kill him at that point, if he were to fully outright kill him at that point, Kami will also die in the process too, and vice versa. Kami did the eating, and he got killed by some way. Then Piccolo will also die too, as we will see later on in the show that one and the same. But anyway, they do this, and then how's Goku gonna be in this time? And we all know that Goku removes his shirt faster than I can in any type of video. So he bare shirted and stuff. He takes off his clothing, his weighted clothes, and he fights with Piccolo. The kind of a drawn out way, I will admit. It's kind of drawn out. Until Piccolo does his famous identification stealth. And it's really kind of a dumb because it just means that he just took a Viagra, a giant Viagra. You don't have to add the identification part. You can just say he got bigger. As part of every Namekian cell that he's got. He can make his size bigger. I actually wonder if that's how Cell got to be so huge when he transformed the Tri-Beat Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. But in any case with that, he ends up becoming a big boy, the Goku's little itty bitty guy, which I would think that kind of growth spurt would help him out when he fought with the Saiyans and Lord Frieza and then other enemies too, but he doesn't think about using that power for himself. And let me see here. Now, when Goku actually fights with King Piccolo, oh yeah, here we go. Piccolo Jr. takes a swing at Goku as a giant form. He knocks him out to the point that you think that he is knocked out for good. And then he goes right in, he uses a Kamehameha like a jet plane. And then he goes into Piccolo's mouth and then retrieves the ball with Kami in it. So that was like really smart for Goku to do. That and Levi uses the Kamehameha wave where he shoots it from his feet. So that's a Quentin Tarantino Kamehameha right there. So yeah, he pulls out Kami, make sure he can safe, has someone open the bottle for him, release him, and make sure he's all comfy, cozy and stuff. And he focuses on taking out Piccolo Jr. He does the solar flare technique and blinds the poor guy. And he weakens him to the point that he shrivels down to normal size. Which I guess that probably went in water will also detect them. Now, I like this idea that Goku is somewhat smart in the battle because they always portray him, at least in the Dragon Ball Super, as being a complete moron. That's not always the case, but just comedian stupidity. Not in the case of the writers. But Toriyama didn't test this in this one. I also have the funny tournament announcer guy, a blonde guy with the sunglasses on, and he is a boatload fun. Okay, I ain't gonna lie, it's so fun. Like a tradition type character, like every Tenkaichi Budokai does it every year. So then you see, Goku also uses the flight jutsu, which I'm pretty sure that this came before Naruto, but still, it was kind of a crossover type thing because jutsu thing it's for ninjas. Anyway, I believe that he did that when Piccolo was toying with Goku, and not actually killing him outright, like he should do. You should kill him rather than just say, I'm gonna take out your limbs one by one, and I'm gonna shoot you in your chest, and then I'm gonna take out your arms and your legs. Speaking from personal experience, but I would say legs are overrated by far. And the reason why I explain what I say Piccolo and Piccolo Jr. because this is the reincarnation of King Piccolo. So it's the same guy, only he changes over time. So if King Piccolo existed now, I'm sure that he would probably follow the same route as Junior. So being that there's a one Piccolo and one Piccolo only, I don't think it really matters whether I said Junior or not Junior, but he is Junior in this regard. The son of King Piccolo. So they had him fighting with Goku at more or less the same street level, and he ended up destroying the entire ring. So that would mean that the entire Earth is the battlefield, their arena. So Goku still wants to do this tournament by using the rule of the tournament, where you can't kill the opponent and you can't you gotta do the ring out thing where you gotta tank out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 10. The type of thing. But Piccolo, being a dirty demon of hell, wants to kill Goku outright. Which isn't fair, playing by dirty rules. And he even does the so anyway, Goku blessed him with Kamehameha, a super Kamehameha, and put them in the ground in a big crater after he destroyed the entire tournament. So the guy is like, tournament guy, like, you win. He doesn't want to finish him because if he kills Piccolo outright, it will kill Kami and therefore deactivate the Dragon Balls and kill someone again. Well, Goku is caught off guard by the fact that he thinks he won and Piccolo's in the ground. Not really push up daisies, but he's in the ground. And he's in the ground, he's like buried partially. And they're like, you won, Goku, you won. It's done at the card. And everyone's like, yeah, you won against him and all that stuff. And then she's over there happy and stuff, saying that we'll be married and this and that. and Krillin, yeah, I feel so bad for Krillin because he was a little itty bitty guy in the first portion of Dragon Ball. Then when they come around and everyone's an adult, he grew like, what, 3 inches? 5 inches? Whatever the case. He's still a little shrimp, with the other guys in height. But in power, he's pretty potent. Let me see. See, you think that everything's all good and stuff. So, being the demon that he is, and being the bad guy he is, Piccolo, in a very respectful move, ends up giving him a nice mouth blast. And Goku even gives him a thumbs up. So Piccolo Jr. gives him a nice mouth blast. Now, I personally, I think that the mouth blast is pretty cool. Because, it's like an internal blast from inside key and stuff, so it's more powerful and more deadly. But it's also, it's only, used squarely by the bad guys. So every villain in the show that uses it is gonna be irrevocably bad, at least when they use it. Piccolo being the only exception to that. But we'll get to that shortly. So anyway, Piccolo ends up disabling him, making Goku almost bled out for the pain and then shocked for the pain. Although it would have been different if he had shocked over here in the chest area, because his heart is right here somewhere. So anyway, then he goes on to pick on his legs and then his arms. So it looks like he's going to do it. He's going to kill Goku. And so Goku, in the last moment, headbutts him, and that's enough to put him out of the ring and KO him for good. I mean, and then not to go 1, 2, count up to 10. Count up to 10. So by that alone, that kills Piccolo. Not telling him the cheating, doing the same rules all the time. So yeah, Goku was clean victory. He can also get out of Dragon Ball without killing any of the main villains except Piccolo. Oh, I don't know if you want to count that as being that, but King Piccolo did reincarnate as Piccolo Jr. So I don't think I should count that as being be kill worthy. Get a road because he did kill the original. So yeah, Chi-Chi and him get married, have a little son and go on. We don't know about what happened to him. But right now, let me just say that I freaking love this concept in the Dragon Ball, because it was just so good, so pure, so cutesy and innocent. It was more fantastical thing. I have a book there for I have all 4 volumes of the Journey to the West, which I'm reading volume 1 right now. And they based Dragon Ball on that story. Could definitely tell differences in the story from the manga, and especially with the Monkey King. That'd be Goku's character. So anyway, then we get Z. And this is my wheelhouse, more or less. Because I know Dragon Ball Z left and right. I know everything there is to know about Dragon Ball Z. So anyway, we have rabbits coming to Earth and then beating the crap out of the farmer, the Z fighters that are right out on Earth, and then having Piccolo and Goku team up with each other to fight Raditz. Because Raditz wants to destroy Earth for a type of global or universal trait, like a trait federation type thing. And Piccolo wants to conquer the Earth for himself. So it's like, I'm taking over the plot for myself. I don't want you to destroy it or sell it to the highest bidder. So instead, he has a map. He fights alongside Goku for temporary reasons. He even develops a new technique called the Special Big Cannon, which, yeah, they do have a special thing for it. Not being cannon, but let me see here. Oh yeah, and the special being cannon call it here the Lake of Death, which I don't know what you call it. The special being cannon was Lake of Death. It's awesome here. Now, this is quite weird here. That I actually show that Piccolo Jr. is an alien, even though he could be an alien, but they consider he's still considered a demon or all rights. And Kami is the same type of thing, like he doesn't know he's an alien. So the thing with that is that it's weird that they show him the way I would consider the ranking is that you have regular humans here and you have the aliens up here. Then you would be considered supernatural up here. There'd be demons, angels, and so on and so forth. Because aliens are the same class of beings that regular humans, just more advanced. So they kind of reverse that by making aliens stronger than divine beings. And that goes for Trank as well. The trained by Kami. It's supposed to be divine, but it's more like demonic. So alien. So these aliens are more stronger than Kami's divine training. Which now that we find out the aliens kind of make sense because aliens will be stronger than Goku and the others that train with Kami. Anyway, they do that where where Red ends up fighting with the two alien guys, and Piccolo. Find out that yeah, I am not your, I am your brother. I'm your brother's cousin's nephew's roommate. That type of thing. That Red to his brother. Even though let me see here. Let me get a good picture of Go Rider here. Yeah. I don't know what time I'm overthinking with this, but Goku does not look like Raditz at all. In fact, Raditz looks much more like Vegeta in the face. And I don't know what you're thinking about, but I always think of Just Cook whenever I see Raditz here. Of course, we get the upskirt shot of Raditz. It's just highly weird. I think maybe talking about that thinking Raditz, Vegeta's brother instead of Goku's. But anyway, and also I have something very important question for you. If Raditz survived long enough to be able to transform into the Zoro, would that mean that the Zoro would have his hair, that real long, his butt hair? That would have been very interesting to come about. Let me see here. I know there was a problem here. Wait. This is another better picture of seeing Radish's big melon head and the very predominant whale peak. Here, very much like Vegeta, they were planning on making it that look for all the sins. Which come to think of it, I don't think that Gine and Bardock have that style of hair. Maybe Vegeta's father is very Goku's father and Raditz. Well, also here they have a picture of the Ox King with the suit in his mouth. I don't want people make it a big deal over that suit thing, but I think they do. now, you do the part where Goku and Vegeta were Reg and Goku end up fighting with each other. And then with the fight against the really so fast and blocking both Piccolo and Goku's attack. And here they also have some creepy dialogue that was different from the other original thing. And Piccolo even said that technique for Goku. And how right he is. Goku never mentioned that when he was a kid. His weakness was his tail. But they don't mention that in the manga. So that sounds like true or whatever, but and they also milk the whole thing with the tilting a little too much in the show. And they make up the powering up of the special beam cannon was a special death of light of death. Yeah. I can't find that dialogue change right away. Of course, teach for the part where they have Gohan pound up against his Uncle Raj and then headbutting him. You don't see that weird animation with the mouth and which goes, well, who gets it? When he goes off the side. Oh wait, you need to do the puzzle of it. Oh, but yeah, one thing is but there's one thing that's wrong with this picture here. This is one page right after Gohan headbutts his uncle. And you see what it is? there's no hole in the bottom. Whereas when he got hit, when actually it's less than a page, yeah, because up here they have a big crack in the armor up here. Then down here it's completely pure. It was undamaged by Gohan. That's really funny. You know, I never said that Master Toronto was perfect. The only way they get to the point where Goku puts Raditz into a fullness and hold them for when Skull has to go with a special beam cannon. Now, I already made the drawing joke in the first video I did for the anime episode. But look, Piccolo got double prizes. So he ends up going away. You know, it's funny that Red and Goku's bite don't disappear right away. I mean, Red doesn't disappear. Whereas Goku does. More like a heavenly type thing, right? You have to keep his body afterwards. And he goes to heaven. And then he ends up getting escorted by Kami to Giyama's place in his palace. And then Giyama said to Kami to shut up in a very funny way, because Giyama's like his boss, so he gets to tell what to do in the divine world. And it's really real funny that, like, you know, I'm dignified, but in other world, I'm just a pushover by my superior. He take advantage of me, he picks on me and everything else. Poor guy. So then we have the part where Piccolo trains Gohan to fight the new Saiyans that, you know, Nappa and Vegeta and the others, and the Cyberman. Now, this is funny because people always say that Piccolo changed from being pure evil, like in Dragon Ball and the beginning of Z, to being less evil, more of a hard-ass jerk. But I would say that when he changed when he sacrificed himself to stop with to stop Nappa's energy wave from getting to go on. But I would say that he started to change when he started to care for Gohan. Like when he takes care of him from far, when he trained him. No, that's when he became real friends with him, your politics. And they showed it in the book too. Even when he dealing with the little T-Rex and getting sticks off of his tail. In a very painful way. I might add, before Gohan goes into an ape form and just starts to ruin everything. To which Piccolo says, oh, I better stop him before he ends up destroying everything that it's worth, that Earth that we're protecting and stuff. So he destroys everything, you know, in a rampage in the Azor form, because he's not trained, and then Piccolo ends up blowing up the moon again, and then for putting himself to Gohan's rage. for the tail. And I believe the full frontal of Gohan. Looks like we did with Goku. No, I can admit, I do like the fact that they show all the goodness of all these characters from the get-go. I still think it was people get them to show the main character Goku from early on in the show's manga's history. But because I read the Dragon Ball manga quite a bit, it showed the background of these characters. It showed how we have Goku, Long Hua, Yamcha, and the other people would still be in the evil category of the show. Whereas because of Goku and his friends, and Bulma and the others, they ended up become friends and then become rivals, much like Shinan and Chutsu. They became friends. But they were real bad guys. But Popeye, King Piccolo, Gold, Emperor Pilaf, Mayan Shu, and the Red Ribbon Army guys. The Dragon Ball crew did not cheese. So yeah, it was like that. And he eventually made everybody else good by association. And Bulma used her own Dragon Balls to help with Yamcha. So yeah, with that. So I'm glad that I saw that. Anyway, they cut right into Chief Goku getting Kai's planet. No, Princess Snake stuff full of the snake way and making Gaza Mez, which is pretty much straightforward run. I have no idea how when the guy King Goku's snake way how he was able to turn the car around. I'm not narrow path where himself fall off the edge into hell. Not lower hell, but he meant to do it. It's like whenever there's spirits in the spirit world, take it one by one line to King Yama's palace. And it's Japanese path, of course. So anyway, it's funny, but all the pages on here have beautiful effective treated. Goku running in a certain direction to show the progress of the pages. Yeah, that's very from when Goku ends up going across the way. Because I'm a double American, so I read everything like this way. But whereas Japanese manga comic books go the opposite way. It goes like this. And it goes from back forwards. And we also get the first mention of Goku's fan named Kakarot, which is weird because he doesn't like carrots, and Kakarot is obviously carrot. A mutation of the word carrot. But anyway, they have Goku meet Elton John to cross with a fish that became Kai, a catfish. And he meets Bubbles. And he has to catch Bubbles. Now, I like the way they cut right to chase with him catching Bubbles. Being in the main series of anime, it takes forever with that. But in this one, cut right to the chase. No pun intended on that. And then they also have they have Piccolo and Gohan forming a bond together. They have Krillin and Ken and Chaozu and all the other people training when Nappa and Vegeta arrived with the other men. The bat does strength as the Raditz. Now, I have a question for you. Now, they say that the Stone Dragon, Shenlong, can only grant wishes that don't exceed its creative power. So, like Kami, for example, can't destroy the Saiyan in space. You know, that's not in the cards for him. But he can grant the wish to grip anyone with immortality. So how does that work? How is killing someone more powerful than wishing them eternal life? Or bringing them back from the dead? You know, that's a good question. How is killing someone more powerful than bringing them back to life? You think it'd be the other way around. But the two Saiyans don't want to bring back Raditz because it was a weakling, which goes in tone with that Saiyans have been ruthless and barbarian and all that. Meanwhile, Raditz was begging on the fact that they would bring him back because apparently he doesn't know how Saiyans operate. Even though he is a member of that race and whatever. So, they kind of pissed him off at like, you bastards, I'm gonna get you if I ever come back to you're dead. Even though we know that Vegeta finds several powers that would defeat Red in an instant just by powering up. So anyway, they had it where they actually fight with the Sin before Goku gets there. And they show that Goku learned the Spirit Bomb to get Dama. And they showed that he first trained Goku because he can make him laugh. So where do comedians learn to get funny? A comic book store? Or something along those lines that make Kai laugh and crack up. And I wish they had voices in this, but they don't. Because I love Tom Chamel as Kai and Goku too. So anyway, they learned to get the Spirit Bomb against Dama. I don't think he refers to it as the Spirit Bomb. The Spirit Bomb. Let me see here. Yeah, apparently King Kai can cook well. And he can communicate with anybody by touching his back. Here it is. I didn't even know what comedians read. Comic books. And that makes King Kai laugh. Let me see if I can get this. also love the way Master Toriyama tells the story of all the groups of people training at one time. Gohan and Piccolo, Goku and Kai, and all that. And the other humans too all get ready for Saiyan survive. And I love this one that Goku, Piccolo coming when they show up. Gohan, Krillin, Yamcha, and the others all training and stuff. What do they show? Yeah, Joby eating a chicken leg. Something. Oh yeah. But I pass off at being like child friendly instead using the spit bomb. King Kai refers to his attack as the spit ball. The spit ball. So anyway, they have it be yeah. He also gets new clothes, which into a small troll helmet thing on the side right here, and then they have so they go a really big King Kai logo on the back. We tried to get really funny, and then they say, we want you to fight. Kami want everyone to fight on his behalf. That he trained him to the best of his ability. Sir, yes, sir. So then Goku gets raised back. He goes back all snake way. And he makes a mess calculation about time and all that. And he goes to the earth. And by the end of the last chapter, he's still on way to Earth. We Earth, the Turkish station, without any type of when he gets raised back, the halo disappears, and he becomes solid again. Which I wonder why considered I would think that Goku will feel some kind of pain or some kind of something or other whenever his body becomes whole again, whenever he becomes living again. But I guess not. So anyway, I also like the fact that when Krillin and the other people see that Piccolo's going Gohan with them, you like, you're gonna eat him again, aren't you? You're gonna Gohan, aren't you? And they just, are you crazy? I'm not gonna eat Gohan. I can't even fit him in my mouth, my fangs and all that. And then they give him a really funny face. I can't find the picture right now, but give him a real funny face. Like, are you guys crazy? I'm not gonna eat him. I'm gonna train him. Maybe I'll eat him after the bell wasn't all that. So they get ready. The sand's right on the earth, and and Nappa being the brute he is. Yeah, he gives the tour to everybody, figures the entire city, blows up everything within like a 5-mile radius of him. And Vegeta says, that was really nice, but only if when the drug balls was in that spot where you just vaporized, we can't waste your whole life. It is, sorry Vegeta, I'll use my brain power next time. Which brings me back to my other point now. The Dragon Balls indestructible at this point. They are magical objects, so the only one that can defeat them all. A magical user like Neva, Majin Buu, or anybody else from the Dragon Ball universe. So by doing this and vaporizing it, they won't do anything to them. Unless they become inert again and become just stone, then I think they can be destroyed. Because I think that the Stone Age just covers like the entire, it's like a peanut on it. So it's really not gonna be solid to the core. It's gonna be covered up with stone covering. And the other side is just the Dragon Ball themselves. So anyway, they train from, and then they go to where Piccolo and Gohan are, strongest powers, and then they do the thing where they power up, they rise up, and the skills are inaccurate. They don't do the famous line yet, the over 9,000 line yet, but it's coming, in the next issue it's coming. So, Yamcha joined the fight, Tien joined the fight, Chaozu also, they all joined the fight. You should have had, Chi-Chi join the fight, because she could easily bitch to the Saiyan and they would be defeated. So, it's funny that, they portray the Saiyans as being like rough around the edges and rude, warriors and all this stuff. We know love was for anybody else, but it seems like Nappa has some weird connection to the Cybermen, and I guess it's because he plans himself that he's like that. So he's like, why would you? Why do this? Why destroy them when you get defeated by Krillin or somebody else? Krillin, was Tien the first Cyberman? Yeah, I think it was him. But also, there's a funny thing here. We see the Cybermen have the ability to split their heads open and squirt acid out of their heads. Acid out of their heads. Let's see. But in their cool moves, they show the skeletal structure of them. And there's no actual split in their heads. So my power is more powerful than yours. And it took them to tell Kakarot of their alien from Raditz, and then they told Piccolo and Nefokami that they're alien too. So that's pretty funny. I would think the alien antenna would give away as being not of this Earth. I wonder if there's an alien in Area 51 too. It was Tien on that. defeat the first Cybermen. I just love the Toriyama writes all the characters with sound effects as if they have the sound effects come from them as if they're speaking like I am, and they have to they have them in voice bubbles. And they also have one that's killed by Vegeta, and bloody mess, kind of like the alien from kind of like the butterfly. I also find it really interesting that these guys were able to become as powerful as Raditz was. Because each of the Cybermen is strong when they use time. Even though at the time that Raditz came, he didn't do anything against him. I think that they would be able to help out to fight. And it's just how Vegeta is very willing to go destroy his own teammate if necessary. That'd be a foreshadowing for Nappa. And I like the way Poir, before the fight, says, "Don't die, Yamcha." Well, as we will see, he's the first one to go. Now, this is what we're getting to before about when Piccolo defends Gohan, one of the Cybermen that Krillin misses, and they do a nice skeletal structure of the Cybermen like this. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's no split in the heads. So Piccolo is able to defeat this guy, even though he's as powerful as the character that gave Goku in so much trouble a year prior. So then they actually show Yamcha's will be back next of the Tension. And I like the way they milk it a little bit, but not so much that they gotta fight the minions, the main bad guys, before they actually fight the big bad. So anyway, they show him they show him defeating defeat they show him defeating the guy, and then Yamcha actually does kill him, does defeat him, but then he ends up getting kamikaze by a guy, but one of the Cybermen that just wanted to give him a big ol' hug, and he claps his hands together and then blows up into the trucks. That turns Crew into rage, and then ends up to circle over one of the Cybermen. And I'm sorry, but when I did that, oh wait, never mind. What it was anyway, y'all. I wanted to think of something else. And so then, Krillin destroyed all the other Cybermen, and they were in a very loud power attack, which is from later on in the series. And then he ends up fighting with, then the Cybermen reached out for Gohan, a non-combatant at this point. And Piccolo says, naughty, and he grabs his hand, and then destroys him and to die. And then he kills him with a mouth blast. So this is funny because, originally you think that the mouth blast is going to just be in the realm of the bad guy territory. Almost one of the bad guys that become a good guy. He's supposed to come for Gohan and protect him. Even though he said that he's not protecting him per se. He's just doing it because he wants to have the most amount of warriors to fight to repel the bad guys. And we all know that Piccolo has a very special bond with Gohan. Something you can only get with Master and Teacher, or a surrogate father and son. And then we get into when Nappa powers up, and he shakes the entire world. And everything is shaking in Krillin says it's almost like a demonic horror. Meanwhile, this is aliens. So as per always, it has a thing at the end of the book where Toriyama talked about himself and why he's been absent and on vacation, things like that, and being sick and stuff. So he also said that I hate winter, I hate cold. Every time that people try to tell me to go skiing, I always tell them no, I can't do it. I hate snow for other reasons. But yeah, he's a very good commonality with me. Just a very sad thing that he passed away last year. I love his work. I love his story. I love his designs. They were excellent. God bless him. And God bless Dragon Ball. And I love the way at the end, on the spine of this, they have a little part of it drawing here. I think after cartoon, we're gonna do like a little video of all the spines combined, and I'll see what kind of picture they come with. So yeah, I definitely enjoyed this story, and I might do another video where I put all the cover pages to all the different chapters together. And, as you can tell, I love this story. I love the whole character descriptions. I love the whole foreshadowing of Piccolo sacrificing with Gohan. I love the fact that Porsche said known the Yamcha as his best friend. I love the way they have the scenes being like this unstoppable force, like Radish, like the team effort there. I like the fact that when Radish says, I'm gonna use this on you next. And we not knowing at the time that Piccolo really was gonna use the attack on Goku as well as at the same time. A lot of little errors in the animation drawings. I just love it. I just love all of this stuff. The foreshadowing of Kami and his pals, Mr. Popo too, which doesn't really do that much in the storyline. I like the introduction of characters like Jen, Chetsu, as Roshi, Krillin, or in this case, Corinne. I just love it all. And I thank you for watching my video on Dragon Ball, the multi of 3-in-1 Dragon Ball manga comic book for parts 17, 16, 17, and 18. Cover chapter 81 to 14, something like that. And as you can imagine, and give this whole thing my happy face, silver purple. It was kind of odd for it, and to have 1/3 of it being in the Dragon Ball, but then the sequels with them were all grown up. The 2/3 of it. And I really like it real weird. But they all have the introduction of Gohan, Raditz, Nappa, and Vegeta, and the little cyber pukes, which have the design of Mani Do. No, wait, Manchu. Anyway, that's the same one. Now, in the next copy of the multi-form, one of those, they have a Cyberman there. Even though, at that point, they're not even mentioned, and they're all dead. So I don't know why they did that. But I find it interesting to see that all through the fight, this is Yamcha's dead corpse there. Which is funny because when my hair was really long, a friend of mine at the gym said to me, maybe that anime character now. Or like, please let it be Manji, please let it be Gohan or anybody else. No, you Yamcha. Son of a bitch. Why do you have to be Yamcha? Why do you have to be the guy that died? The guy that was foreshadowed to die in the comic. Why couldn't it be like someone like Vegeta or someone else like that? I would even think Nappa over that, or Raditz. Why do you have to be the guy that died first? In the at least, that Krillin died first in Dragon Ball and GT. But anyway, the foreshadowing was more of a joke at this point. But I find it interesting that during the entire fight with Vegeta and Nappa, nothing happened to Yamcha's body. I would like for him to come back from the dead and re-inhabit the body, and then some dramatic happen to it, like either the arm was missing or his leg was off kilter or something like that. That would have been fun. Or his arm had like a scar on it or something. But yeah, if it's 12 flavors of awesome, drug them all. And these should be awesome too because they're that stupid filler. And I would like to say, if you like what you see here and you want to see more of my videos, you can always like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. Or if you want, you can always contact me by calling me or texting me at 631-707-3707. And if you like, you can reach me by following me on Twitter or Facebook or X if you prefer at P Nelson Pro. And my number again is 631-707-3707. And my email is jjsviewingchannel@gmail.com. So I did this in respect, in reverence of the Akira, Goku, and the Holy Kamehameha. Amen. I love this show. I love the anime. I love the manga. I love everything it could be about this. Salute all you fans out there of each one of them. So, peace out, but my brothers and sisters. I'll see you in the next video, all you girls and guys in Thailand. Sayonara, Auf Wiedersehen, bye bye, aloha.